I asked my mom, why haven't you ever asked me to come work with you? I've grown up watching you treat your clients. You would take me to LA with you. We would go to these, the Hollywood Hills and treat the most beautiful faces in Hollywood. And again, I'm 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. So I was very young. And she's like, Tera, let me remind you, I did ask you to come work with me when you were in high school. And you said, Mom, I get facials. I don't give facials. And I was like, what a typical teenage
that
girl.
Is so funny. If you guys have followed me for any length of time, you know that I love my microcurrent devices. I love the instant lift it gives me. I love the way it supports my skin. I've been using them for years. And today on the podcast, I have the co-founder of Nuface, Tera Peterson. There are countless devices that you can use now. There are LED masks, there are microcurrent devices, and Tera's expertise in the industry has enabled her to be able to grow this brand to the #1 at-home skincare device on the market. We get into some of her favorite skincare tips, her most underrated skincare tips, but also she really digs into the science of microcurrent and not only what we can expect immediately after we use the device, but also what we can expect for months and years down the road, and why consistency is really key with these devices. So if you're interested in learning more about microcurrent, you're definitely going to want to tune into this episode. Tera, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I'm so excited to chat with you, and I know the audience is really excited to hear from you too, because I talk about microcurrent and specifically Nuface very often, so they're primed from me, but they're going to hear it from the expert. So thanks for taking the time.
Of course. It's so much fun, especially because we haven't talked in a couple years. I'm excited just to see your beautiful face and just chit chat.
Yeah, we were just talking off air that we did a live together. I think it was during COVID, so it feels like it was an eternity ago. But we did a really fun live and talked about skincare and microcurrent, so it'll be fun to chat again. So I like to start every podcast asking my guests, what is your earliest skincare memory?
Oh my gosh. Well, my mom's an esthetician. I remember when I was in 3rd grade, she would always tell me wear my sunscreen, cover up, and it was summer, and she told me that I should wear stockings, like tights, to protect my legs. And I would have to go to school wearing tights to cover my legs to protect myself from the sun. And I remember picking up my tights, and my classmates thought I had the craziest skin because I could stretch my skin. So that's probably the earliest kind of skincare advice that I received.
That is so funny. My daughter is 2, and I dread the day. I know it's going to happen. I know someday she's going to end up with a sunburn, but I really dread it, and I can totally relate. I don't know, I might be that mom. I might be making her wear tights all year in Miami. I don't know, but I mean, it's the best for our skin, that's for sure.
Well, I have 7-year-old twins, and they've never been burnt.
Oh, good.
So
That's good to hear.
Having moms like us, we will be like...
I love that.
She has a huge sun hat. Well, they both have huge sun hats. I mean, the swimsuits that have, all the coverage, long sleeves.
Yeah. I love the UPF swim for the kids because it's just so easy. You don't have to worry about reapplying and stuff like that. Okay, so I want to get into a little bit about what your early career journey was like, because I know you didn't at first intend to become an esthetician, but it happened. Obviously, it's very ingrained in your entire family and what you do and your ethos, but I'd just like to hear about how your early career got started.
So I had a dream about being a businesswoman and wearing a suit every single day and working in a high-rise, and so I went to school and got my business degree. And I always knew I wanted to be in business, but really didn't. I was very open to what type of business. And so I graduated with my business degree, and my first job out of college was selling life insurance. And I always like to remind people, I'm 22 years old. Who's buying life insurance from a 22-year-old? No one. And my sphere of influence and my friends were all young, so that was the furthest thing that they were thinking about. So needless to say, I was wearing a suit every single day to school. To work. I was working in a high rise on the 26th floor, and I hated every second of it. And so I really realized I like more of smaller companies, more of like indie, so I can have that one-on-one relationship. I wasn't I went to a small school. I wasn't a big school person. I wasn't a big company person. I liked that smaller family feel. So I started working in sales for family-owned companies, and I loved it. I loved having the ability to work and really consult with other businesses, but was still kind of unsatisfied with what I was doing. So I remember it vividly. I called my mom up and I said, hey, let's do this together, because she was already thinking about Nuface. She had already created one prototype for Nuface, and I was just blown away by the results. So it was in the back of my mind. So I remember calling her up. I was sitting on a bench and I said, hey, let's do this together. I'm going to go to an esthetician school. I'm going to learn the industry inside and out. And that's exactly what I did. And so as I was actually working on clients, I was writing the business plan for Nuface.
Wow.
So it kind of just came, it was like literally a feeling that was so overwhelming and it just came over me like one day, like it was this like aha moment for me. And my mom, one part of the conversation was, I asked my mom, why haven't you ever asked me to come work with you? I've grown up watching you treat your clients. You would take me to LA with you. We would go to these, the Hollywood Hills and treat the most beautiful faces in Hollywood. And again, I'm 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. So I was very young. And she's like, Tera, let me remind you, I did ask you to come work with me when you were in high school, and you said, Mom, I get facials. I don't give facials. And I was like, what a typical teenage girl.
Is so funny.
Just the sass.
Yep.
She likes to retell that story.
Sure. That's so funny.
And I like working in the treatment room, that connection, as you know, like it's just the connection you build with your clients. I instantly fell in love with taking care of clients and providing a solution for them. And so still when I do facials, it's relaxing for me, where we have the business and that's kind of like the go. You get into the treatment room, it's so relaxing. It's kind of like I'm able to kind of release all the stress that happens in a normal business environment.
So how often are you still treating clients?
So we have partners come to San Diego and stay at House of Nuface. We have, for instance, one of our professional partners, we ran an incentive. And so we have 3 estheticians that are coming to San Diego as we speak to stay at House of Nuface. And so they'll come to our spa at our office and I get to give facials. So I would say any given month, I'm seeing probably around 5 clients.
Oh, that is
so it's very small,
yeah.
but it gives me that connection still to clients and just be able to hear feedback, see their responses to whatever treatment that we're creating.
I love that. So you still get to kind of get your hands dirty a little bit and be with the client. That's really special.
Yes.
So for those who are kind of new to the Nuface or new to microcurrent in general, can you give us a little microcurrent 101, what it is, what we can expect?
So I always say microcurrent in Nuface is fitness for your face. And when I describe it like that, it's usually an aha moment for clients, like, oh, I get it. I understand it. And in fact, we trademarked fitness for your face roughly 10 years ago. We just finished a January campaign called Fitness for Your Face, and it still resonates. So think about microcurrent as fitness for your face. It's a low-level electrical current that goes in and stimulates the facial muscles to lift, tone, and contour. And a fun fact, our skin and our muscles on our face, they're actually connected. It's the only place in the entire body where the skin and the muscles are connected. So if you think about it, if our facial muscles are getting tired, if they're starting to atrophy, if they're starting to elongate, it of course takes the skin with it. And so the skin starts to droop. And so with microcurrent, it's lifting, toning, and contouring the muscles to give the skin a nice V shape, pop the cheekbones, pop the eyebrows, really lift the entire face up. And at the same time, it's taking the skin with it.
I love that. And what are the long-term benefits? Because as I mentioned, anyone who's tried the Nuface knows that there's really a nice immediate lifting effect that you get right away. But I think there are a lot of skeptics when it comes to what can this do for me long-term. So can you explain to us how that works, what you're seeing right away versus what you're going to see months or years down the road?
Yeah, and I relate this again back to fitness, right? Fitness for your face. So think about when you go for a run. You go for a run, maybe you're done with your run, maybe your skin's a little flush, maybe you feel like tight, like the booty's tight, maybe the abs are tight because you just stimulated those muscles. That's what you're going to expect instantly with Nuface. You're going to see that lifting, toning, and contouring of the face. You're going to see the glow to the skin. So that's that instant benefit. The long-term benefit comes with consistency. So again, think about running for 6 months or a year. Really, the body starts to transform, right? So maybe the booty's higher. Maybe the skin's tighter and smoother. Maybe your abs, you have more of a six-pack. The waist is leaner. So with long-term results, those results start to become more permanent. So if you lifted your face once and never used Nuface again, that one result will last up to 36 hours. Okay. However, consistency is key. It really will start to reshape your face. That becomes kind of your new normal. And so with it, anything in life, everything's a maintenance program. Our skincare, drinking water, our diets. So with Nuface, you want to incorporate as part of your daily skincare routine or weekly skincare routine, depending on your age and your goals. But at the heart of it, what we're doing with microcurrent, which again, remember is a positive and negative current. So it's going in and creating a chemical reaction within the cell. It's actually increasing our ATP. Anytime we increase ATP, think about it kind of like an external battery jump-starting our cells, okay? So the microcurrent's jump-starting our cells. So those cells are actually regenerating a lot faster. When we regenerate our cells faster, it leads to increased collagen and elastin, better muscle tone, and of course, better increase of circulation. So nutrients are delivered to our cells faster. So overall, the health of the cell is optimized. And so you see that reduction of fine lines and wrinkles. You don't potentially get as puffy as you used to before. The skin's tighter, the skin's thicker, the skin has a better bounce back. The face is more lifted. My mom would always say, we treat the cause of aging, not just the symptom. And by using microcurrent to treat the cellular activity, you're seeing this kind of domino of benefits. And that's one of the reasons microcurrent within the aesthetic industry is so popular.
Yeah.
Because it's more of a holistic approach to anti-aging.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, because you just mentioned that, one question I often get is from people who have Botox. Obviously, I'm a cosmetic injector, so I get a question like that from my patients all the time. And they're afraid to use it because they're afraid it's going to, why stimulate the muscle that I just quote unquote paralyzed, but they work completely differently. So I don't know if you want to touch on that a little bit.
I love this question because, that's the beautiful thing about microcurrent. I see microcurrent's like Switzerland. It plays well with everything. If you're going to do Botox, if you're going to do filler, if you're going to do any type of laser treatment, if you're going to get a facelift, everybody's kind of at this journey at different stages. So if you get Botox, great, continue your Nuface treatments. I just want you to wait roughly 7 to 14 days after you get the Botox, let it settle, and then continue your microcurrent treatments. Because if you think about it, with Botox, we're blocking the juncture so the muscles and the nerves can't talk. So think about it, it's kind of like building a wall where the nerve can't move the muscle. So the muscle's nice and smooth. We get a nice and smooth look on the skin. But we still want to keep that muscle in a good, healthy state, right? Think about if you broke your arm, what happens after you take the cast off? The muscle's atrophied, and it's elongated, it's weaker. We want to keep these muscles in a good, healthy state. We want to continue to bring nutrients to the cells, but we still want the effects of Botox. So if you have this kind of wall, we're stimulating from the back end of the muscles, but we're not touching the nerves. We're not taking down this wall. So it's very complementary. I encourage you, especially if you get Botox, to use microcurrent because you need those nutrients, you need that transport, and you need that stimulation of the muscles.
Yeah, I'm really a fan of stimulating the muscles, especially like in the forehead, around the eyes when I have Botox, because by quote unquote paralyzing the muscle, naturally the muscle will atrophy over time. Now these are very thin muscles, so we don't see a huge impact as far as, people get afraid of it's going to make you look droopy. I haven't seen it, but I do like to use my microcurrent for that exact reason, just to make sure those muscles stay stimulated, because I'm no longer able to stimulate them as I normally am when the Botox is intact. So I'm a huge fan of it. And I'd love to hear how you use your device in your routine. Is it in the morning? Is it in the night? What step in your regimen do you use it? Does that change?
I use it in the morning because I like that instant result. I like to depuff. I like to work out in the morning. So it's kind of like I go work out, then I use my Nuface. And then it's kind of my whole routine. I'm better at everything in the morning. At night, that's when I like to relax. That's actually when I use my red light therapy. But it doesn't matter. It's, again, we just want you to use it. It's just like exercising. Some people like to exercise in the morning. Some people like to exercise at night. You do you, just use it.
Yeah.
So it truly doesn't matter. And again, once you hit those cumulative results, you're really transforming and shaping your face. So you'll still have those results. If you use your Nuface at night, you'll still have them in the morning.
Yeah, absolutely. And so are you cleansing first and then you go right in with your gel and then move on with the rest of your routine? Or do you do it first and then cleanse? How do you like to approach it?
Yeah, so I always cleanse my skin because you want to get any oil off the skin. I run outside, so I have an SPF on, so I want to remove that. You don't want any blockage of the current. Oil will block current. Sweat will block current. Especially because it's mixed with oil. SPF will block current. Some moisturizers, if they have oil in it, will block current. So you really want a clean face. It's kind of a clean palette to work off of. You get extra points if you exfoliate your skin.
Okay, good to know.
And because you want to remove any dead cells. Again, you want to remove any blockage. And then what I like to use is what we call the Nuface Super Boosters. So those are microcurrent safe serums. And if you are familiar with microcurrent, because it's a positive and negative current, when it hits that positive, it actually is pushing ingredients deeper into your skin. So I like to use one of our super boosters before I put the activator on, the gel on, because I want to push those ingredients. And we have my favorite is the super peptide booster. It has 3 different peptides. I'm a huge fan of peptides, great for building that collagen elastin. And so I'll put that on the skin. So again, cleanse, exfoliation. Exfoliation is the optional step. Your super booster, which is a water-based serum. And then that's when you activate. So the activator, think about when you're pregnant, they put the ultrasound gel on the belly to see the baby. That's what's going to conduct that microcurrent and deliver it directly to the muscles. And then lift 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you have available. Leave everything on the skin. I don't want you to remove anything. After that, put your eye cream on, moisturizer, SPF, and your makeup, and you're ready to go.
This episode is brought to you by, well, me. Skinthusiast.com is your one-stop shop for all things skin, hair, and beauty. I have countless blog posts to educate you on all the skin concerns and most common skin questions I receive. We also have a complete skincare basics guide on our shop page, as well as the cutest In My Skin era crew necks. If you want to support the show, please head over to skinthusiast.com/shop. And don't forget to rate and review the show wherever you listen to podcasts. I love that. So what about somebody, I'm sure you've seen all over social where people will mention that they're using a different conductor gel. Like everybody has their own that they like to say works. Is there anything that works that you've seen on TikTok? Can anyone use like their regular, I've seen people mention aloe vera, like all of these crazy things. What do you think about that?
First and foremost, remember that Nuface is an FDA-cleared medical device. You need an FDA-cleared conductivity gel. Could you go and use an ultrasound gel on your face? You could. And actually, in our very first years of Nuface, that's what we included. We included a conductivity gel. I can't tell you how many complaints we received. No one wanted to put a goopy blue gel on their face to conduct the microcurrent, which basically took like years to remove from your skin because it was so thick. So could you do that? Sure. But it took us over 10 years to perfect our activators because not only do they conduct the microcurrent, but it actually also includes different skincare ingredients to optimize your results. So even when you're using the Nuface activator, the aqua gel or the silk creme, you're actually, again, infusing your skin with those good, healthy ingredients that are going to continue to optimize your results. Yeah. So yes, you could use an ultrasound, but I guarantee it won't be the best of experiences.
Yeah, and I think that's a really important note too, because when it comes to these devices, they're extra, right? They're in addition to what we often consider like our, sunscreen kind of must-haves. It needs to be a pleasurable experience for you, or you're not going to make yourself do it every day. In order to make it a part of your routine, I think it really needs to be an enjoyable experience. And I agree. I use the aqua gel. I haven't tried the other conducting cream that you have, or the silk one that you mentioned, but I love the aqua gel. And I never get any, I know people complain that they get like the zappies. That never happens to me when I have your gel on.
When you're using the activators, you want to apply it in sections. Apply it we have a beautiful clean sweep brush. The routine's very luxurious. Yes. We created exactly how we would do it for you in the treatment room. And even how you dispense the activator is very luxurious. It has an actuator, and so you just pump it out, and then you use this beautiful clean sweep brush to brush it on the face. Again, you become your own esthetician. And so apply it in sections. So you can apply your activator to your neck, lift your neck. Apply your activator to your cheek, lift your cheek. Apply your activator to your forehead, lift your forehead. And then I want you to just pause and pick up the mirror and then look at the difference. I want you to compare and contrast. And if you've seen Nuface on TikTok or Instagram, you've seen these half face lifts, and it's what Nuface is known for. It's like that instant gratification, but that consistency is key. If you apply your gel in sections like we just discussed, you won't feel that zapping. You shouldn't feel that zapping. If any point of the treatment you feel a zapping, it means that your activator has dried out, or maybe you're on a sensitive area, maybe you're by the hairline, which is a conductor. You may just need to apply more.
Okay, good to know. And I love that you mentioned that, because it really is such a luxurious experience. Like, I look forward to it every morning. I enjoy it.
Right.
And it's funny also because I've been using Nuface for years, and up until recently, I had the old one, like the old version, which was amazing. Yeah. And to be honest, I didn't even realize that there was a new one that came out until I always link it for people, and I saw that the photo changed, and I was like, oh, it's a little bit different. And so I recently got the new one, and with it, the app and everything. And I was like, well, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this forever, but let me just go on the app anyways. And I was so pleasantly surprised. There's so many different like little facials that you can do. I've been doing the 15-minute one most often.
Oh,
And
good,
it's
good.
funny because I feel like I initially knew all the steps, but then it's like, it's like a game of telephone. Over the years, you start accidentally dropping steps. So it was a really good refresher
Totally.
for me to just like start from the beginning. And there's a little template where you can take the before and after and take it halfway through and all that. So I really enjoy the app. I'm not usually one to download the app associated with my devices because I just like, who has the time? But
Same,
this one is like
same.
actually really helpful.
Well, and we did it because it was our clients that would say, okay, I got my Nuface home, now what? Or like I had a friend who was using Nuface for 5 years and she's like, I want you to come over to teach me. And I'm like, what do you mean? You've been using Nuface for 5 years. She's like, I just want to make sure that I'm doing it right. And so after, years and years of this feedback, we said, okay, we're going to create an app that essentially is your on-demand esthetician, right? We're there walking you through it so you don't have questions. It's also great for estheticians because they learn how to do all of these different treatments that we have. So we have 15 different treatments on the app. Our newest is our 10 out of 10 Fitness for Your Face facial, which combines both microcurrent and red LED. It's a 20-minute treatment, so it's exactly what we would do in the treatment room. It's a shorter version, but it uses both the facial trainer, which is for the neck, the cheeks, the forehead. Then we switch out to the eye and lip attachment, which we really target the eyes and the lips, like really lifting the lips around the eyes, plumping the skin, lifting the eyebrows, reducing any fine lines and wrinkles underneath the eyes. And then we finish up with a red LED, and it just is like beautiful saran wrap for the face. It just tightens everything up. So we have these different treatments within the app, but then, which is really, really cool, is we have app exclusive treatments, which means when you've paired your device to the app actually controls your device. So the fun thing about microcurrent, it's like a recipe. Like I can change the depth of the current and the speed of the current. So think about microcurrent from if you, again, we relate it to Fitness for Your Face, we relate it to like, let's say a treadmill. The treadmill, you have different inclines, right? And then different speeds. Well, with microcurrent, when you have different inclines or different depth of the current, you can go really deep into the muscle, or you can go very topical. So you could do a skin tightening treatment, or you could do a deeper treatment that's going to really lift like deeper into the muscles. So now with the Nuface app and our smart devices, they have Bluetooth. And so you can actually adjust the depth of the current, giving your skin different results depending on which app exclusive treatment you select on the app.
I love that too because you don't have to do any of the work, right? The app automatically does it for you. It automatically it tells you exactly where you're using your device, for how long to use it with the beeps, with the little buzzing, and you don't have to think about it. It's not telling you to change any settings or anything. It's all done for you, which is really nice.
We took all the guesswork out of it, and you can literally just like kind of turn off. Like one thing that I like to do is like, it's like half the time I'm watching TV when I'm lifting my face. Like this is the time, like either just to be. We have even some meditation that you can connect to your app that really just allows you just to really relax and have some me time with your Nuface. But we take all the guesswork out of it. So you don't have to memorize anything. You just watch the video and follow along.
Yeah, I love that. And one of the most common questions I get when it comes to Nuface is, what's the difference between your main Trinity device and your Mini device? Is there a difference in power, or if someone has the Mini, is it going to give them the same results?
Yeah. So the biggest difference, and I have both here so I can show you. So the biggest difference is with the Trinity, you have 3 different interchangeable treatment attachments. So you have the facial trainer. Again, this is for the neck, the cheeks, and the forehead. And then you can switch off the heads, and they're all magnetic now. So before you had a button on the back that you had to press, and I would like see people kind of struggle with that. So I was like, with our new Trinity Plus, I want them all magnetic. It just quickly falls into place. You have your eye and lip attachment, which is really for kind of the harder to reach areas right around the eye. So our eyes and our lips are circular muscles. And so you can actually, it's one of the few technologies that you can actually get right to the lash line. So think about like fine lines and wrinkles, think about puffiness, think about dark circles, or even above. You can actually go and really lift up if you have any kind of loose skin around the upper eye. This is really going to tighten everything up. And then I love to like pop the eyebrow, really lift the eyebrow up. And then the same with the lips. So our lips are circular muscles. So if you look at your mom, grandmother, typically the lips are thinner. And so this is a great way just to lift the lip up. If you follow any of the plastic surgeons, which I'm like a huge, like I follow all the good ones. And a lip lift is a very popular treatment. So it's essentially what they're doing is they're lifting the lip up to give you more volume. Well, this is kind of an alternative to that, non-invasively. So we're lifting this muscle up to give you more volume within your lip. Or you can lift the corners of the lip. And then our third attachment is the red LED. So you have red light therapy. This is what I love to do at night. And you're just holding in one area for 3 minutes. And you can really customize your treatment to you. The closer red LED is to the skin, the better. And then I also love this, like we've created even the shape, the ergonomic of our our red LED attachment. It fits perfectly underneath the eye. So essentially you have a red eye mask for underneath the eye area. So you can do 3 minutes here, 3 minutes here. I like to do the forehead. So with the Trinity, you have all of this technology in one device. And on top of that, we have this boost button. Let's see if you can see this here with the lighting. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so on top, there's this boost button. Okay, so when you have your microcurrent attachment on, you can press this boost button and it will increase the output by 25%. So your Trinity Plus is technically stronger than any of our other devices that we have, and especially in comparison to the Mini device. So you have your Mini. It's essentially this same device. However, you don't have the boost button, so it's not as strong, and you don't have all of the interchangeable treatment attachments. So I find, and it just plugs in, it doesn't have a charging cradle like your Trinity device. It's just very luxurious. I find that clients will have the Trinity Plus at home, and then they'll use the Mini Plus for their travel device.
That's exactly what I do. Exactly. And you guys, I don't know if you still have one, but with the old version, there was a Pro version. Is that what the boost button is?
No. So we still have the Trinity Plus Pro.
Okay, got it.
So that's what you can only purchase through our professionals. Right. It is yet a stronger device, but they both have the boost button.
Okay, good to know.
For our Pro, it goes up to 400 microamps. And then when you boost, it's going to give you 25% more microcurrent, giving you a total of 500 microamps. Okay. So the boost button's available on all of our Trinity Plus devices.
Good to know. Okay, and you've mentioned a couple times the Pro treatments that you guys have, and I want to touch on that because actually our esthetician Allie at my clinic where I work here in Miami will be offering the Nuface facials. So I'd love to hear about what clients can expect if they go to a Pro, and also how do they find a Pro near them?
Yeah, great question. So we have a new treatment locator on nuface.com. So go to nuface.com. Right in the upper part of the navigation to the right-hand side, it will say treatment locator. So you can find all of our estheticians nationwide that offer Nuface in the treatment room. And what I love about the Nuface as a treatment, one, if you haven't received a Nuface treatment by an esthetician, and I tell my employees this too, I'm like, go and have someone do a Nuface treatment. It is by far the most relaxing treatment that you've ever done because microcurrent is very holistic. It's very rejuvenating. So it's very relaxing. And so of course we can do it to ourselves, and that's one thing, but having someone do it to you is just, it's the next level. So we cleanse, we exfoliate the skin, we apply a different kind of suites of serums to the skin. Again, that microcurrent's going to push it deeper into the skin. We may be doing the treatment longer than you're doing it at home. We may have the Trinity Plus Pro, which is what we were just talking about. All of our estheticians use that. That's actually stronger than your at-home devices. So it's a full treatment. We're going to be incorporating red LED into it. And we just finished on January 10th, we did a 10-city blitz launching our new Fitness for Your Face app treatment. And clients who were walking out of the treatment room, their faces were completely transformed. One, their skin was like glowing like I've never seen it glow. And then on top of it, it's clean, it's exfoliated, the serum applications, the microcurrent, it's so rejuvenating to the skin. So my PSA for everybody today is go get a professional microcurrent and Nuface treatment because it is amazing.
That sounds so lovely. I cannot wait. Okay, couple questions just to wrap up. I know that you have to leave or you have to get going. What are 3 skincare products that everybody needs?
So advanced tech, I've been talking to so many clients, and no matter if they go see an esthetician or they go to their dermatologist, long gone are the days that you just use a topical skincare. So you want to get advanced tech within your at-home skincare routine. Of course, I prefer red LED and microcurrent because they're the easiest to use. There's no downtime. There's also no adverse reactions. So you can't essentially screw it up. Where when it comes to like laser treatments, those could be a little bit more invasive. So I always kind of steer my clients away from kind of intense at-home lasers. So advanced tech, you want to do something more within your skincare routine. Of course, we know SPF. As an esthetician, I can't urge you enough. You have to wear an SPF. If you don't like the typical feeling of sunscreen on your skin, go and research some of like the Korean sunscreens. They're so beautiful. They have different filters, so they essentially feel like skincare. They don't feel like you have an SPF on your skin, but you can really transform your skin by applying sunscreen every single day, and you'll start to see that transformation within 30 days. So even if you're working inside, you're being penetrated by some type of blue light that has an impact on your skin. So working indoors, if it's raining or not, you still want to wear your SPF. And then hydration. One of the reasons why we age is because our skin is like a rubber band, okay? If your rubber band is dry, what will happen to it? It just gets brittle and it breaks, okay? So we need to make sure that our skin, our tissues are very hydrated. So that means both internally and externally. Make sure that you're at least in kind of these parts of the world of I'm in California, we have our heater on right now. It's dry, right? So the air's dry. We want to make sure that we're using a heavier moisturizer in these winter months. Good serums, incorporate that peptide serum. Get a mist. Always keep a lip balm around. Make sure that your skin never dries out, including your neck and your décolleté. More hydration, the better, again, internally and externally.
I love that. And what's next for Nuface? Anything exciting happening that you can tell us about?
I always say Nuface is like a fine wine. We tend to get better and better with every single year. So more app-exclusive treatments. When we launched our Fitness for Your Face facial in January, I can't tell you like the excitement and the feedback that we received from clients of just kind of giving them some newness of a facial that they can do. So more app-exclusive treatments, more innovation. I mean, innovation is key, right? We always want to continue to get better and offer our clients more and more. And because we talk to clients on a daily basis, you tell us the best creations. I mean, we hear the best ideas from our clients. So innovation and just more activations. So we're going to be doing more tours of Nuface. So come and get your face lifted. If you're in the California area by Orange County, we have a sculpting studio at Nordstrom in Fashion Island.
I love that.
So come and get your faces lifted by one of our estheticians. More activations, more in real life things to come in 2024.
Oh, that's so exciting. And couple final wrap-up questions. What's your most underrated skin tip?
Oh my gosh.
I know it's always a tough one.
That's a good one.
It's tough.
Underrated. I mean, honestly, I think it's beauty tech. Not everybody has gotten on the bandwagon of incorporating microcurrent. So I think that that's like probably still like the best kept secret, which is not as big of a secret, but there's still such a big percentage of clients that still need to jump on the microcurrent bandwagon.
Yeah, I love that. I agree. And finally, what is your holy grail skincare product if you could only pick one?
Well, of course, I would pick Nuface because it transforms the skin. It does so many things. So I would pick my Nuface. If I couldn't pick my Nuface, I would probably pick, I love both the Korean SPFs, but I love Is Clinical. They have this SPF that's like so hydrating. I absolutely love that. So that's probably top of my list.
So many experts mention that brand when they're on this show. They must be doing something right.
It's so good. Their serums are like to die for. They completely transform your skin. They have a fire and ice facial that's like so good. So if you haven't checked out Is Clinical, check it out. It's actually what we use in our spa in San Diego.
Oh, amazing. So can people come to your spa in San Diego and book treatments, or is that more for events and things that you're having?
So typically it's for events. However, we're looking to offer a reward system to clients, and so we will be opening up the spa to some of our VIPs.
Ooh,
so
that's
yes,
really
the more
exciting.
treatments you do, the more rewards you're going to have, and you can redeem that to get an in-person facial at New Spa.
That is so fun. And you guys, if you don't follow Nuface on Instagram, I highly recommend that you do, because I often will just go on there every couple of months just to like see what you guys are talking about, any new tips that are on there, seeing how you guys highlight how other people use it, and it's just really helpful. Once you invest in a device like this, I really encourage you to just like stay up on the content, because you can get such a good benefit from these devices. And take it from me, don't wait 3 years of using your old device before you get the app and learn all the new techniques. So thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Nuface is one of my absolute favorites. I mean, it's like one of my holy grails. So thank you for taking the time to educate us all about it.
Of course. It's so fun and so good to see you. Next time, let's not wait like almost 3 years to do this again. Okay. Thanks, Amy.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. If you want to know where you can find the Nuface, I'm going to leave a little discount code below in the description of this episode where you can get the Nuface at a little discount thanks to our friends over at the company. And they're also going to be giving away a mini device. The mini device is my favorite. I travel with it all the time. It's always in my travel bag. I especially like it when I'm traveling to like a wedding or somewhere where I'm going to be at an event, because it's going to give me that instant lift right beforehand, and it has the same power as the other devices. If you want to enter to win the Nuface Mini, all you have to do is follow Nuface on Instagram, follow me on Instagram at Amy Koberling, and let us know in our reel about this episode. What did you take home from this episode? What might you change in your skincare routine after listening to it? Let us know what you thought of it. And as always, if you have time to rate and review the show, it means